Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Thursday, June 8th. I'm your host, Kate Walker. We're learning more today on the recovery efforts underway in the Tantallon area where the wildfire has been contained but is still not completely extinguished. 16,000 people were originally evacuated, 4,100 remain displaced.
Tomorrow it is our intent, our plan, that the majority of people who are still evacuated will be able to return to their homes. We will issue an alert when that happens. Please keep in mind that not every street can be listed on the alert, but there will be public service announcements that people can go and they can look at what communities and what streets are able to return.
However, for those who live in the dark orange zones of the city's fire zone map, it will likely still be days before they're allowed to return. Physical and emotional help is being brought in to help evacuees returning home to what pieces are left.
Team Rubicon will assist all of those homeowners in being able to sift through and look for prized possessions that may have survived the fire and be able to do so in a safe way. So they will have complete hazmat suits, they are properly trained, and they will work directly with the homeowners if the homeowners want.
A community hub is also being created for evacuees to ask questions one-on-one. Smoke kits and potable water containers will be on hand for those returning home.
You know, there's a lot of focus obviously on residents who have had their homes destroyed or damaged. And speaking with some friends and family in the affected areas, but their homes are still standing, there's a lot of survivor guilt, as I call it. So I just, people need to be cognizant that just because your home is still standing doesn't mean that you're not affected. A lot of mental trauma, again, with children, pets, neighbors, the devastation across your community, that is something that we are looking at as well.
An egress continues to be built in the area to create a second exit out of the subdivision, something residents have been calling for a long time, and something that became obvious during an emergency where there was only one way in and one way out. In Shelburne County, the Barrington Lake fire is still being held, not moving, but not under control. Right now, it's holding at 23,525 hectares, but the reported size is expected to fluctuate in the coming days as firefighters reach more remote areas on foot and get precise GPS measurements. Highway 103 has now reopened in phases. As of last night, commercial vehicles and healthcare and emergency workers are allowed to drive through exits 27 and 30 between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. The highway is still not intended for general public use. Vehicles that are allowed through will be escorted and are asked to expect delays of an hour or more. There's still no access to local roads and properties off this stretch of Highway 103. Police have charged a man in 2 arsons that happened in Halifax this morning. While the provincial fire ban remains in place, police say just after 4 a.m., they, along with Halifax Fire, were called to a fire in the 5600 block of Spring Garden Road. HRP says 2 separate fires of a planter and an advertising sign were found and extinguished. The suspect was arrested shortly after. 41-year-old Alan Patrick was scheduled to appear in provincial court today to face 2 counts of arson. RCMP are investigating a threat made to Acadia University. Officers say on June 6th they received report of a threat of a possible shooting at Acadia. The threat was received in an email by University Safety and Security. The information then began circulating on social media. The threat said that there would be a shooting at the university in the fall of 2023. Kings District RCMP are investigating and say so far the threat has not been corroborated or verified. While the weather definitely plays a role to what goes on in your garden, depending on how extreme things get, there are some ways to prevent damage or things you can do to plan ahead for the changes in weather. SaltWire weather specialist Alistair Alder spoke with Emily Trigano from Halifax Seed, where she shared tips including what to plant during the summertime, how to protect your garden from frost, and the best weather conditions for weeding and transplanting. In Halifax, we're prone to extreme weather, which can take a toll on your plants.
And so how can people protect their gardens from the weather, from the elements?
So I think it's, first off, planting the varieties that you know are going to work within your microclimate. So, if you get extreme drought in your backyard, you want to make sure you're planting varieties that are, maybe a little bit heat and dry tolerant. And then, when we do have extreme weather events, it's doing things like making sure you're staking your tomatoes. So typically when we see those hurricanes in September and throughout the fall, it's making sure you have the right supports in place for the plants that you would like to survive. The other thing, it's also making sure you remove any dead debris and really making sure your garden's clean and kept on top of.
And to watch the full video, head to the weather section on SaltWire.com. It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Deborah Page with United Way Halifax and musician Matt Mays about the wildfire benefit appeal.
The concert is expected to draw, thousands of people to the Scotiabank Centre to see entertainment, but also to help support United Way. That also will help fund these programs. That's what the intention is.
That is absolutely correct. And to be clear, we are funding and helping and supporting organizations here in HRM, which is our traditional mandate. But Shelburne and Barrington areas, they don't have a United Way organization. So we are certainly actually going to be serving those communities as well and determining what the need is. So the money raised will be impacting all of those communities that are most impacted. We've been very, very fortunate so far in terms of the response. Not totally surprising because we know what Nova Scotians and others can be like during these kind of things, but we've raised just over $800,000 already, and so we're very, very grateful for the music industry coming together.
The people on the bill I know wanted to help probably before the concert was even conceived. I called Louis Sonic and just said, if there's anything I can do, I'm here to do it. And then he said, okay, leave it with me. And then 5 days later, there was an arena show completely planned. So it all happened very quick.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of SaltWire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
Thanks, Kate. Nico Abeda is a basketball player from the U.S., spent some time here in Truro playing basketball, and currently he's in Portland, Oregon, getting ready for his sister's graduation. So, Nico, first off, how you doing?
Doing well, keeping busy, making sure I gotta stay active, like it's perfect weather outside, so you just gotta make sure you can stay out there.
All right, before we get into these random questions and having a little bit of fun, tell me about your sister. Where's she graduating from? What's going on?
The Oregon Health and Sciences University, I believe, over here in Portland. She just finished her last finals, and she's officially a registered dietitian now. So that's what she's been up to.
So make sure you watch what you eat.
Yeah, yes, man. Yes, sir.
Big congratulations to your sister from SaltWire.
No, for sure. I'll make sure I tell her.
All right, you ready to get into these random questions, Mr. Basketball Guy?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you could have any superpower during a basketball game, what would it be and how would it help you on the court?
It would completely break the game, but a super speed, because you're able to get up and down faster than everybody. That everything's a layup, or you're able to get in between spots. So it breaks the game, but yeah, super speed.
In a game of horse, what's the most outrageous shot you'd attempt and why?
If it's not like a super comfortable 3/4 shot court, it's LeBron did this one at the All-Star game where he faked over, brought it back under, then he hook shot with his offhand, and he made it hilariously enough in that video. But I've tried that a few times very confidently in a horse game. I like that one.
Excellent. Great to catch up with you and speak to you again. Enjoy your day. And again, congratulations to your sister. We'll talk again soon, Nico. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now. To see what's coming up in the forecast, we're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, our Thursday started off with some morning fog patches and drizzle, but this afternoon we did have some sunny breaks. And really, if you take what we had today, it's kind of what's in the forecast for the next couple. This evening, it will be mainly cloudy. We'll have fog patches developing with a chance of drizzle, and the temperature this evening will be near 10 degrees, rising from 7 degrees on your Friday morning, starting the day with cloudy skies, fog patches, and a chance of drizzle. Into the afternoon, cloudy skies with sunny breaks, so I do expect the sun will peek out, but a chance of showers will be hanging around with us with a high of 18 degrees, except 10 along parts of the coast, due to a light southerly wind. We have similar conditions in the forecast on Saturday and then slowly improving through Sunday. It looks like we'll have a pair of brighter days and warmer days early next week. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com. And you can find us on social media. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Turn off the noise. Tune in to what matters. What matters is information you can trust. What matters is the news you can use to make life's big decisions. Informed healthcare choices, casting the smart vote, or opening that business. What matters is understanding the world around you. Let SaltWire connect you to what matters with unlimited access to the information you need for only $20 for the first year. Become a member today.